Hey collectors, we're going to look at some coins that I was thinking of submitting to PCGS to get certified. Stay tuned, I'll talk about why. Hey collectors, thanks for watching. I'm the collector of coins, and that's right, as I said in the introduction, I have a bunch of coins here that I was thinking about submitting to PCGS to get certified. Let's get that into certification. Let's get that into focus. That's a West Point mint mark. All right. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Turn on posting notifications, and let's get started. So let's talk about what I'm going to do here, and I'll walk you through this process.
Okay, here we are on the PCGS.com website. I have an account, so I'm able to do submissions. Let's get started. All right, so there's a nice page here that's about PCGS. They prompt you, are you ready to submit your coin? Start a submission. I'm not ready yet. I want to see the different submission types and pricing here. So they offer grading. You can reholder it. That's if your holder is scratched or damaged. You can regrade it. You can have it reconsideration, and then crossover between agencies. I'm just looking at grading, straight grading.
So as you can see here, I have a number of coins out that I'm thinking about getting certified. Let's start with some of these oddities here. So this is a very circulated 1923 piece dollar. This is in poor condition. Let's talk about why to get this certified. So PCGS has a set registry where collectors compete against each other, usually for the highest condition coins. There's a particular set known as the lowball set, where people are competing for the lowest condition coins. And this might be able to be in someone's set from a lowball perspective. So I have a number of free grading coupons. I have 8. So I was thinking about using the free ones on some of these coins here. This one, not worth a lot, but I think it would be fun to have something available for a lowball collector. Same thing with this Kennedy half dollar, which I believe, even though it's shiny and quite possibly PCGS may say this is polished, but I think this could be a candidate for a lowball set as well because it has been heavily worn, heavily through circulation. I don't believe this is from polishing in and of itself. So I'm thinking about sending that in. Let's see what else. And by the way, as you keep watching this video, I'm going to show you how to submit coins to PCGS, and then we'll see how we did. All right, so here's another coin I'm thinking about sending out to get certified. This is a 1963 Washington quarter. Look at the toning on this. Spectacular toning. So I was thinking about having that certified as well. This is in uncirculated condition. It's really nice looking. As I said in the introduction or earlier on in this video, we have a West Point dime. I'm thinking this should get certified. Again, we'll take a look at prices together in a moment. We have a Morgan dollar, 1884. Some impairments, probably MS63, I would guess. This is out of New Orleans. Could get an MS64. And then we have a 1956 Franklin half dollar. Minimally MS64, could be better than an MS64. I also think it could be a full bell lines. We also have an album of Susan B. Anthony dollars. I'm thinking about sending the proof coins in. There are a number of them here. This is really a full set. They're all deep cameo, and if they come back as proof 70, they could be worth quite a lot of money. So I was thinking about sending those out. Likewise, I have an album filled with Sacagawea dollars. Again, the Sacagawea dollars are not really worth a lot, but the proof ones, particularly that deep cameo, could be worth a bit of a premium. Now, modern day coins are less expensive to certify, and I'll show you why in a second.
And here is their collector services and fees. Maximum coin value for submission. And for the Sacagawea, I was looking at the modern here, or modern value. Modern value here, the maximum coin value is $300. So the Susan B. Anthony's are not going to be worth more than $300, I believe. So $17 per submission, which is quite a decent price considering that we could get something that ends up being proof 70. Most likely they'll be 68s and 69s.
Okay, so we checked all the modern coins that we have. We have, I think, 19, which is pretty much a full box. So I am very much thinking we will submit it. Sorry, maybe it's 18. That would not be considered modern since it's after 1964.
And then for the free coupons, where I have 8, I'm just going to be able to use, I think it's the economy or world or regular service. And since I have free grading coupons, they won't cost me anything. So I'm going to try to keep the cost at a minimum, maybe submit 20 coins to the modern value and submit 8 coins as part of the free submission that I'm entitled to because I pay for a platinum membership.
So let's get these set up. Okay, so I have plastic gloves that I'm going to use to handle the proof coins. This Eisenhower dollar, which is silver, is in a coin capsule, which I'm struggling with trying to get open, but we'll see if we can do that in a minute.
All right, so let's talk a little bit as to why I'm thinking about doing the submissions of the modern coins. All right, so I've logged into the Gray Sheet website. I do have a subscription as a coin dealer, and let me walk you through why I was thinking about sending those Susan B. Anthony's out for submission, possibly Sacagaweas. So let's go to dollars, Susan B. Anthony proof dollars, and then if we look at each one, let's look at the type 1 proof decam. Could be worth $55, between $40 and $55 in proof 70. Definitely worth the $17 grading fee, but in proof 69, worth only $16. So there's some risk here, but I'm very tempted to because the upside can be quite high. If we look at the type 2 Susan B. Anthony, definitely worth more as proof 69. Look at the proof 70 value right there. And then you're going to see similar theme for the remaining ones here. A little lower value on the 80S, the 81S, a little bit more, and then the 99 decam, which was minted in Philadelphia, which is very interesting. Smaller amount minted, much more upside.
Okay, we have the 6 SBA Susan B. Anthony proof coins in the flips, 3, 6, and I made sure I put on a label so that I could remember which ones were the type 1 and type 2, because that's going to matter in a few minutes. We're definitely going to send these in. I think there's enough upside. Still struggling to get this out of its coin capsule, but what we'll do is we'll put the dime in one of these as well. So then we'll have 7 coins ready to go, and I'll show you how to do a submission. Oops, sorry, that's from the Dance School album.
Likewise, if we look at the Sacagawea proof dollars, and again, these are not worth as much. Let's take a look. I think you have a lot of them minted in the first year in 2000, not really worth a lot. If you go to the next year, worth less. But again, there's some decent upside for some of these if they come back proof 70. These I'm quite a bit torn on sending them out to be graded. These I might frankly use my free coupons on. Again, we're debating, but we'll see once we get everything sorted out. All right, well, let's take a look at the Roosevelt dimes, particularly the 1996 minted in West Point. Let's go to 96. Let's get to the West Point one. So if it gets full bands, it'd be worth quite a bit more. But let's take a look at one without full bands. Yeah, an MS66 worth 20, an MS67 worth 27, MS68 worth 55, and then MS69 worth 340. And if we take a look at the full bands, you're looking at a significant jump up in value too. So I think that one's definitely worth sending out underneath the modern. Let's see if we can put together 20 modern coins for submission. And let's get that together, and I'll walk you through how I do this.
I've decided that these 2 Sacagaweas are not worth sending out to get certified. So I'm just going to put them in a bargain bin for a few dollars. After talking to a couple of dealers, I decided not to submit this piece dollar or this Kennedy half dollar. In order for it to get poor, it's really got to pass a certain type of criteria. And while I think this does, the likelihood of it getting the right assignment, I was told, is very low and probably not worth doing. However, I do have a number of Eisenhower dollars, proof dollars, that are in the original government packaging, like this brown case. This is what it looks like opened. And so I've had these for a very long time. They're not selling, so I'm cracking them up to send them in to see if they come back proof 69 or proof 70. They have some interesting toning on them. And part of me is tempted to apply MS70 to this to get rid of some of that surface gunk or clouding. But I want to do this carefully because I've never submitted coins before that MS70 was used. So I might just use it on one as an experiment and send it in. But I'm going to add this to the submission so we have 20 or close to 20 modern coins to submit. All right, well, I am taking the Eisenhower proof dollars out of their holders. And here's an example where you see the fogging. I'm going to take MS70 to it. Here's the before. We'll see if this gets flagged as being cleaned. I'm hoping it doesn't because MS70 is supposed to be safe on coins for exactly this purpose. Okay, and here is the after MS70. And as you can see, the film that was on it, mainly from the storage it was in, has been removed. And I'm going to keep track to see if this gets flagged as being cleaned. And there we can look at the difference between the two. I'm not sure what that is on the obverse of that. That's a little disturbing. I don't know if you could see that surface stuff. Wow. Anyway, well, we will see what happens. All right, well, we got the 1974 in a flip. We'll work on the others. I'll bring you back in when we're ready to do a submission. All right, well, I think we've resolved it here. We're going to submit 15 modern coins. They're all proof with the exception of this uncirculated dime, which is minted out of West Point. 15 underneath the modern service. And then I'm just going to send these two underneath the regular service. And I'll use my free grading coupons for. I've decided also not to submit this Morgan dollar. I have quite a number of 1884 Orleans Morgan dollars that have been certified, so I don't need inventory, certified at least, but I think I might need one in this condition as a raw coin for customers. So I will leave this raw, put this in a 2x2 flip. All right, so I'll show you how to do the submission.
All right, well, here we are on the online submission center, and I'm going to start a new submission. We'll get this loaded. All right, so basically start by just entering the coin in. So I have the 1996 W dime right here, clad. So I'm going to add that. Declared value. I'm going to say what I paid for it, $10. And that was with the complete set. Quantity 1. It's not a mint error. I don't need any of this special on it. Although you can if you want an image of the coin. For this coin, I don't need that. We're going to add that item to certification. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add each one individually. So I am not going to take you through each one individually. I'll show you at the end. But we'll do one more. S. It is the Susan B. Anthony. So I'm going to look down here. It's the type 1. We'll select that. We'll enter in what I paid for it. And I need to look at how many I have of these. So let me go do that. I think I have one more. I'll need to confirm, and then I'll show you after everything is entered in. All right, well, we have everything entered in from the modern series. I can't combine submission types. So the other two coins, which are not modern, meaning they were minted before 1965, will have to go on a separate entry form. So I have everything entered, including the multiple quantities of the items that I have. I'm going to click continue, and we're going to review the submission together. Okay, so it's recommending modern value to date, which is exactly correct. I could change the service level, but I think we're going to leave it as is to save some money. And here's a submission summary. $255, so that's the 17 times 15 items, so that's the right number. $10 handling fee, so that's the estimated cost to get these graded. Okay, and here's the submission total, including the return shipping. We're looking at basically $300. Okay, so the submission agreement is ready. I'm going to have to print the submission agreements, and then I have to put labels on each of the Mylar flips that each of the coins is in to map it to the order itself, and I'll show you what that looks like. But each of these items has a specific number, so it's submission number and the specific number here, including quantity of 2, quantity of 4. Okay. And then we'll just print these out, and I'll show you what everything looks like when I'm done. And then everything gets packaged and sent out. So let me print these out. So labels have to be set up like this. This is the PDF preview. I don't have a label machine like this. I have one that prints individual labels, but I'll show you that in a second. But that's what each label is going to have to look like.
All right, well, I have this cool little, I guess it's a thermal label printer that I use. So let me get these set up. Okay, and that's what they look like with the labels on them to match the line items here. We'll get this packaged up and we'll start the next submission. And of course, make sure you read all the instructions and you sign on the back before you send it out. Okay, so I packaged them sort of back to back, but with the coin in the opposite sides each time, and then I put them in a Ziploc. I got some already in here, and I put them in a padded envelope with a submission number on it, and this is going to go into a priority mailbox, one rate, single rate box.
So collectors, I hope you found this video useful. Keep an eye out for the video on the results of these submissions. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.
Hey, if you want one of my coin mats, there's a link down below in the description where you can get one.